Hello and welcome everybody. Today in this lecture of company law, we are going to continue with our chapter of meetings. And the section that we are going to focus today is of chairman of the meeting, which is covered under section 104 of the Companies Act. So, under section 104, chairman of a meeting means a person who will conduct the proceedings of the meeting. So, at no point of time should we get confused between a chairman of a meeting and a chairman of a company. These two are two different concepts. Okay? Chairman of a meeting has its scope only for the particular meeting, but the chairman of the company has its scope for all the activities of the company. So, one of the requisites for properly convening a meeting, one of the requisites for properly convening a meeting is chairman to preside over the meeting. So without a chairman, a meeting cannot be held. Hence, a chairman is a prerequisite or a requisite for the meeting to be held. Now, a chairman of a meeting and a chairman of a company are two different concepts. Here, a chairman of a meeting means a person who manages the meeting and ensures required decorum and required conditions of the meeting are maintained till the meeting is concluded. And post meeting, he will execute the minutes of the meeting. So, a chairman is a very important part of a meeting. Okay. So, how do we elect a chairman? A chairman will be elected by the members who are present at the meeting. And normally, voting happens in different modes. Always the first mode always will be show of hand. Without show of hand, there can be no other mode of polling or voting which can be demanded by the members. So the first mode of voting is show of hands, and an election of chairman is done by the members present by show of hands. But the members who are present may also demand for a poll, for a poll for election of chairman. Then the chairman who has been elected in the previous clause by show of hands will continue until some other person is elected as a result of the poll. So the chairman's election is into two folds. One is by show of hands. If nobody objects on show of hands, then the chairman will continue. If anybody objects and demands for a poll, then the chairman elected shall continue only till a new person is elected as a result of the poll. I hope this election part is clear to you. Okay. The next point is such elected person, whoever is elected as a result of the poll, now shall continue for the rest of the meeting. Okay. This part is basically the election part. I hope this is clear to all of you. Now, the power of the chairman and the right of the chairman. As far as power of the chairman is concerned, so the chairman is a person who will be conducting the affairs of the meeting. Hence, he would be the prima facie authority. He would be the prima facie authority to decide all the questions which arise in the meeting, which requires decision at the time. So any issue which arises, any dispute which arises, the decision of the chairman will be the final authority and will be binding on all. In case, and for example, and meeting has to be adjourned for some special reasons, it will be left to the wisdom of the chairman, to his authority to decide whether the meeting shall be adjourned or not. Okay. Similarly, what is the right of a chairman? And I've specifically mentioned over here casting vote. Now, what do you mean by casting vote? Say, if for a particular resolution, there are 100 members and 50-50 is the current result that has come for a particular voting poll. So the resolution is currently not getting passed because the votes in favor is equal to votes against. Over here, to end this deadlock, chairman is given an extra vote. It is a second vote. He would have already cast his first vote. This is an extra vote which has been given to the chairman, and this vote is known as casting vote, which will decide whether this particular resolution will pass or fail. Okay, I hope this concept of casting vote is clear to you. So every chairman, if he is empowered, now the keyword over here is if he is empowered by the articles. See, the Companies Act is not empowering him. The articles is empowering. If the articles do not empower him, articles do not have such a clause for casting vote by the chairman, then the chairman cannot exercise a casting vote. Okay. So remember this part. Also, in case studies, they might ask you such kind of googlies. Now, section 104, it basically speaks about 3 topics. First topic is election of chairman. Second topic is duty of chairman. And the third topic is powers of chairman. We have done all three of this. Election of chairman will be done by the members present in the meeting by show of hands. By show of hands. This is your first level. Okay. But if there are members who are unhappy with the selection and they demand a poll, in that case, he will be elected by a poll. But till then, the chairman who has been elected by show of hands will continue as the chairman of the meeting. On election of chairman by poll, he shall continue for the rest of the meeting. I hope this part is also clear. So this is about election. Show of hands, poll demanded. Show of hands, chairman will continue. After someone else being elected, he will continue till the rest of the meeting. Okay. What is the duty? To manage the proceedings of the meeting and ensure decorum is maintained. Execute the minutes of the meeting. And he must observe strict impartiality in his conduct. As far as powers is concerned, prima facie authority to decide all the questions that arise in the meeting. As far as right is concerned, right to casting vote, that is, in the event of equality of votes on a business item, the chairman can cast second vote if provided specifically in the articles. So this was the provisions for section 104. So that's it for today from me. I hope this was useful to all of you. If it was useful, please like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel. Thanks a lot.